if this is boring you. One what? One chord. What kind of a chord?
You're gonna kick yourself.
Soft word.
What was the word again?
Chord.
No.
Oh, wait, is it?
Una corda.
Oh,
No.
una corda.
Oh, no, never mind.
But you're right. You're absolutely right. It's U-N-A, una corda, C-O-R-D-A, una corda, which literally means one chord. Now, did he play one chord in this piece? No. He played a lot of chords in this piece. So we have to think about what are different kinds of chords. What kind of chords do you know besides chords that we play on the piano or we sing with other people or we hear in an orchestra?
Like a non-instrument chord or like.
Mm-hmm.
The telephone wire chords.
Exactly. Very good. What else?
Concord.
Okay, that must be with chords, right? The concord. Sam was absolutely right. There are chords for your cell phone so that you can charge them up. What other kind of chords do you know about?
I was
Quick.
talking about the big chords. Those big lines.
Electrical chords, like
Oh.
electrical.
Out here?
Transformers.
Okay, I don't think they have.
No, they're called Transformers, electric Transformers. Not the movie, come on.
You want me to go get Tyler this one?
No, but I want
No.
you to take that to the kitchen for him.
Oh.
And take yours and perhaps the nuts. Because your mother's gonna make me clean this up and I'm really not in the mood.
Not a holiday.
Chords.
Nice.
Do you have any electric things at your house?
I have one in my
TV
pocket.
chords.
Oh, what?
TV chords.
Yeah, TV chords,
Xbox
phone
faces.
cords, all curly on the old days.
So it's the wireless.
What are those chords? How do you spell that?
C-O-R-D.
Or C-O-R-D.
Thank you. C-O-R-D, which is our word here, C-O-R-D-A, una corda. So that means the corda means
One
what?
string.
Exactly, one string. So you're
You
right.
told me that, I just out of mind.
Well, what does that mean? Why do we want to know about one string?
It connects.
No, that's two.
Say what?
When you push the, what's the soft pedal, whatever,
The una corda.
that,
You
It's
guys
two
are now,
strings
what,
on one.
13, all of you?
Uh-huh.
If you ever call it soft
9.
pedal, you will be laughed out of the piano studio, won't they? Sam can call it soft pedal. Because he can't remember una corda, because he's so busy going back and forth to the kitchen.
I don't want to tell that
Reminds
to,
me of my dog. Well, it's technically not my dog.
you might want to tell that to Paula. It
What?
says right there.
And it even spelled wrong. Who put that in there?
Let me
Let me
see.
see.
Soft pedal, S-O-F.
You
Oh.
told me to write in S-O-F pedal.
Oh. I did not.
Yeah, you did.
Well, it's soft, S-O-F-T anyway.
So he.
Okay, so you're gonna erase that and write what in there instead?
Unicorn.
And you
Una
can
corda.
just write UC. That means una corda also. Una corda means one string. Why? How are we gonna do one string? How are the pianos put?
Because uno means one.
Yes, why one string? Come on, guys.
Because
One
there's the
sound.
word uno in it.
One sound? No.
Oh, I know why.
Stand
Sort
up.
of
Because there's
uniform.
one
Look
chord.
in this piano. Stand
Because
up.
there's only one chord.
Now I need you to be quiet for a minute. No, just stand peek
Moves
over
the
here.
whole.
I could
Like,
take
How
it
many
out.
strings do you see here that are together and then there's a space and then there's
3.
yeah. So there's 3 strings. I'm gonna lift it up.
I thought we weren't allowed to touch piano.
3 different strings. I'm doing it with my nail, so I'm not getting. The reason you can't touch the strings is because your fingers have oils in them, and it'll rust the strings. I'll break.
A guitar here, a microphone.
It works.
Monday. Be there.
Okay, so what's happening
You have
when you
guitar here?
when you play it one note on the keyboard? How many strings is the hammer hitting? 1, 3. There you go. All the way from the top down to all the way down to here. 3 strings for every note. And then there are 2, so if you hear these, hear the same, and then I move. So you hear that we have 2.
So there's 2 sounds and then it
No,
goes
no,
to one.
you can't. No, there's just 2 strings that produce the sound that we hear. And then you get to these really long ones, and look at these big ones down here. So there's only one, and they're really big. Yeah. So what in the world does that have to do with una corda? Yes.
Well,
I think we should stop touching the piano.
I think we're out.
I don't think the piano really appreciates that.
Exactly.
Hammer assembly.
Good. And what
Right.
are all those hammers in that assembly called? Very good word. It's the hammers and the keys. Did you notice that when you press the una corda down that the keys move?
Yeah, these things.
Like this.
These.
No, those don't move. Sam, hang on. Press the una corda up and down a couple of times.
Wait.
These are moving.
Oh,
See
it's the
how
one.
these
The
are
whole,
moving?
like, yeah, thing shifts.
Exactly. So the whole keyboard moves, and the keyboard at the end of that key, we think the key ends there, but it really
Wait, do
doesn't.
it
It goes
again.
all the way back
Is
here.
the una corda? Is the una corda all the way on the one all the way on the left?
Kind of. When the term came into being, because the una corda was a very late addition to the piano, not the latest, but a very late one. When the una corda was added, there were, instead of 3 strings, there were only 2. So when it moved and shifted the keyboard, it moved it from 2 strings to 1 string, hence the name una corda. But we'd been using the term una corda for so long that they just kept it, even though when we shift our keyboard now, we're removing 1 string. So the hammer's now only hitting 2.
And what's the middle pedal supposed to do?
Oh, that's a long story.
It's like you select
We'll
what you
do
want.
it at the very last of this class. How's that?
All right.
It's like the selective.
Well, I mean, I don't think mine works.
This one?
Yeah.
I'll find out.
It's not your turn.
It's like
Thank you.
you select what you want.
Oh,
for the,
one key to
the
hold.
damper to hold up.
Exactly.
Well, mine doesn't work.
I'm just gonna take him home.
He makes great creme brulee.
Oh,
Really?
that is
Even
good.
better. Wow. I even have one of those little things that you can do.
Except they're, I don't know.
But mine doesn't work. I tried. I know. I tried it on his and it worked, and then I tried it on this one. It didn't work. So
It's pretty cool.
yeah.
Okay, so the una corda is going to shift the keyboard so that we get a softer sound. It does one of 2 things. It moves the keyboard enough that we have reduced our amount of sound by 1 string, right? It also changes the place where the hammer strikes a string. And if you think about that hammer coming up and hitting 3 strings all the time, and with these people in this house that practice a lot, like when you get through with your solfeggiato over the weekend, you'll have to put ridges in your hammers, hopefully. They keep coming up and hitting, and pretty soon you've got these little grooves in here in your hammers. And if you move it over, you're going to hit the soft part of the hammer that hadn't been hit with a groove with the string. So it
more
will
of like
sound different.
Rich sound.
Which is the rich sound?
The with the pedal when it hits the soft part.
No, it's usually more of a subtle sound, and it's sort of covered sounding, sometimes kind of muffledy sounding. It depends upon the piano and when you last had your technician work on it. Because after your hammers get ridged to a certain extent, then you have to call the technician in and have him come and do what is called voicing, which is different than your voicing. But nonetheless, something they have to do. They have to prick the hammers and do all sorts of terrible things like shaving and filing, and they have to be absolutely precise so that the right part of the hammer strikes the string exactly. And it's all geometry. So when you've probably all had geometry, right?
I took it next year.
You'll learn a lot about angles and the way things is really quite interesting. Okay, so you know what you're going to do on the remote. I mean on the Monster Jam. I'm sorry. Okay, let's let somebody else get the hot seat.